Miss Dandridge. I ain't even finished with this book. I already done read it before, but I'm reading it again because I got something playing for you, friend. I got something playing for you. See me winking. Anyway, I forgot about this part in this book, and let me fucking tell you something. You wrote the fuck out of this book. Shifts in the Stars, Power Within the Stars, Boo One. You wrote the fuck out of this book. I was at dinner tonight, and I had to explain this. I was explaining this book to my husband. And he was like, what book is that? I want to read that. He was like, he started talking about Game of Thrones. He said, that giving me the feeling it gave me when you put me on the Game of Thrones. Let me tell you something, friend. I ain't even finished with it because I'm rereading it. But, hey, because I'm finna finish the whole series. You wrote the fuck out of this book, friend. I had just said in another book review, there are some authors who write with an anointing. Well, when I say the Lord speak through y'all, in y'all pen. I'm telling you, friend, whatever God you pray to, he is speaking through you, through your art. Okay, sister? And let me tell you something. I just had to come over here and do a rant. Because this ain't the book review, but I had to come over here and do a rant. That Queen Mother, I want to slap the shit out of that female, dog. You hear me? You hear me? But that's what I want to ask you. So, she pretty much stole the throne. Y'all want a book that would tell you about your history. That would this book is what it's doing. It's telling us who we are. You telling us who we are. The research, no words. But that mother, I want to say something about that mother. That mother, the way she spoke. Little girls that look like me in the South, that's how they speak to us when we growing up. That's how the teachers, the female teachers and the doctors, anybody from the picnic community with some kind of substance, that's how they saw little dark girls like me, and they talk to us like that at a young age. I don't know where you from, sis. I can't remember. But you wrote that scene when she was down in, I cannot say, Sabella, when Sabella and the queen was sitting there and they was trying to, they was trying to bully. She said she is not your queen, king of the Westlands. And if I have anything to say about it, she never will be. Her tone was considering as though she felt she had more power in the kingdom than I did. That surely of her position was my fault. Woman with audacity. That's a picnic woman, picnic women with the fucking audacity to think because she was lighter, because she self-proclaimed that because her skin was lighter, she can make rules. Even over her son, the king. Girl, you wrote the fuck out of this book. She said that surely of her position was my fault. He said, yes, it is his fault, but she took advantage of her own son. He said, I allowed her to control me on an important matter before, and now I was reaping the sorrow for my weakness. He is admitting. This black man is admitting that he was weak and he let that woman manipulate him. Baby, when I say, let me tell you something. I'm finna say this. The person that wrote this book, which is you, your husband is a lucky man. Okay? If you married, if you got anybody that marries you, or if you are married, you a blessing, sis. Cause to write like this, I'm pretty sure when you wrote like this, you took a little bit from yourself and you took a little bit from the matriarch in your family. The way you wrote this book, I know you had somebody that is strong women around you to put these words, these golden words on this paper. You hear me? She said, I can't even reach it. He said, but I no longer a young king weakened by duty and grief, and I welcome the challenge. He's standing up to his mother. Let me tell you a story right quick. Let me tell y'all a story. In every marriage, even if you like your mother-in-law, in every marriage, even if you like your mother-in-law, it is gonna be you are gonna be put in a position to where you and your mother-in-law is gonna come to a head. You and your mother-in-law is going to come to a head, and that is when you learn. That is when you're going to learn. That is when you're going to learn who your husband is, who you are, and who your mother-in-law are. And that is when y'all going to learn y'all true positions in that relationship. Mother-daughter relationship, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law relationship, son and mother relationship, and husband and wife relationship. And at the time, you're not gonna feel protected, because I'm gonna tell you how it was. Me and my mother-in-law came to a head. I love my mother-in-law. I just want to put that out there. I love my mother-in-law, and this ain't got to do with liking or not liking. It is gonna be a time when y'all are all together, and you and your mother-in-law is gonna come to a head, and you gonna feel disrespected. And you're gonna look at your husband, and if you're anybody like me, I goes off, but I refuse to talk crazy to my mother-in-law. I do not take shit from my mother-in-law. I do not let her talk to me any kind of way, but I refuse to disrespect her. When we came to a head, she kind of got out of line and she said something, and I just look at my husband, and he said he looked. I looked at him like, nigga, you don't let your mama talk to me like this? Like, why would you? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was so mad, I was seething, because she said what she said, and he was just like, hey, go. He was like, let me talk to my mom for a minute. I said, let you talk to your mama. You not going? He said, hey, my husband, he don't yell. I run my mouth, and I'm be honest, I ain't ashamed. My husband don't yell, he don't talk to me crazy. My husband has a look where, all right, you doing too much. And he gave me that look, and when he gave me that look, I was so mad, I was shaking, because I knew he was about to blow up on me. And my husband, when he blow up on me, is not like disrespectful. He was stating his authority, and I'm not ashamed to say, I know my role in my marriage, and I am okay with it, and I don't let anyone judge me. Because my husband let me be me and let me be free, but there are times where he be like, all right, he that look, he don't speak. So he gave me that look, and I knew if I would have kept on, it would have elevated. So that look is that warning, like we finna be in a fight. You either gonna yield or we gonna step away, and we gonna cool off, and we gonna come back, and we gonna get it right again. And I was so mad, and we were living in an apartment. This is back when before my husband was in the military, when we were struggling, we was in poverty. And we was in these apartments, and I leave her apartment, because she lived in the apartments down, and we lived upstairs. I leave her apartment, I walk upstairs, and I was so mad, I was crying, I was so fucking mad. And when he came in the house, I ain't say shit to him. When I stop talking is when you worry. It's two things about me. When I stop talking, I don't say nothing, be scared. And when I get really, really excited, when you piss me off, be scared. I was quiet because I was hurt. I was hurt because I felt like he did not protect me. And he came in the house. And I went to talk to him. And he waited about an hour. He said, all right, he said, what we doing? I said, what you mean? He said, you either going to sit down and tell me how you feel, or you going to walk around this house and not talk to me for 2 or 3 days. And I was like, you ain't fucking protect me. I said, I don't let anybody disrespect you. I said, I always fucking stand my ground. I didn't win it, but I don't let anybody talk down to my husband. I said, you let your family treat me like shit. Like they act like they believe me. I said, you let your family treat me like shit. I said, I'm somebody. I said, I know we are poor. I know I come from poverty. I said, but I'm somebody, and she don't have a right to treat me like that. He said, enough. He said, enough. And I got quiet, and I was breathing. He said, you my wife. He said, you my wife. He said, I would never, ever chastise you in front of anybody. I would never talk down to you, talk at you, talk crazy to you in front of anybody. That's my mama. That's my mama. I'm going to check my mama, and I'm going to do her and check her respectfully. I'm going to show her the same damn respect that I'm going to show you, because I never put anybody in a position to have to think they had the upper hand on anybody. I ain't finna put you in a position to think you can talk to my mama crazy. I ain't finna put my mama in a position to think that she can talk to you crazy. I checked the fuck out of my mama when you left. That's why I asked you to leave. And he said, and to this day, then I didn't understand, because I felt like I needed to see him go off on her to have the proof. But 2 days later, she came back and we talked, and she apologized to me. And later on, I cried about it, because I was like, oh my God, because I didn't believe him. And I said later on, I was shocked that he did protect me. I thought he didn't protect me. All I'm trying to say is, just because we don't see our husband protecting us, that does not mean we're not protected. Okay? The girl in this book, they had that same head off. Had that same head off. You know, they came to blows. And she was so mad at him because she felt that he let his mama talk to her like crazy. He says mother. He was chastising his mother, trying to get his mother to be quiet. And Rika says, please, Your Majesty, I am more than interested to hear what the Queen Mother has to say to me. Rika said, gracefully, listening, attentive to everything that came out of my mother's mouth. My mother cut her eyes at Rika and all but sneered at the fact that Rika had suggested something that I actually adhered to. As I was saying, King of the Westland, there is no reason for you to divorce your beautiful wife for a mongrel. I know your familiar with the other realms, but wealthy men and royalty keep women like her on the side all the time. If you simply want to bear her, do so. I'm sure she used to things of that nature. Give no one instill decorum and order to the gods, forsaken heathens of the in between. But you will not set aside your wife, your children for this. I will not allow it. My head turned to face the Dowager Queen in what felt like slow motion. I sat stunned as she disrespected us to our faces. My eyes looked at Rika, and I hoped to communicate to her I would handle this situation because there was no way in hell this disrespect would stand. I could feel the anger and ill feelings toward my mother wafting from Angela Byron, and the rest of the guards who were within the room. My mother had shown whose side she was on, and now it was my turn to return the favor. I was serious about my stance. Anyone against Rika was an enemy of mine, family included. Rika plastered a large smile on her face and stood looking at my mother. Well, it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As a Monroe from the in-between, we value honesty, and I am happy to know exactly what you think of me. Unfortunately, I won't be a kept woman or a bed warmer for your son, so you have no need to worry. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have Eben's loaves I left in the oven for the meeting. I think they take priority over conducting this exercise in frugality. Rika dipped a quick clipped courtesy to my mother, Queen Mother, King of the Wastelands. She addressed me with a simple nod of her head that conveyed everything she wanted to say without her having to say it. A word. Let me tell you something. When she looked at him and he looked at her, there was so much communication. I know I just did a whole book review and that wasn't even in the book review. It was just that part. You wrote the fuck out of this book. You wrote the fuck out of this book. My husband gonna read it, friend. My husband gonna read it. Whoever is your husband, whoever get the blessing of putting a ring on your finger and get to be joined at the hip with you, they blessed. They won the lottery because the words that you put on that paper can't tell me that somebody in your family didn't teach this to you. That you sis, you are a blessing. I just had have it reading. Finish with your cut. No words. No words. Okay. This paranormal, your paranormal is unmatched, sis. It is unmatched. Ooh, have it reading.